Good morning. My Mac is being a little silly, so I'm monkeying with it. How we doing? Yes. Yes, he does. Guten Tag, yes. For sure. Harry, are you still in Pennsylvania? Oh, good. Hey, Jacob. Hey, Piper. Gosh, Piper, have I seen your name on here? I feel like I've always seen your sisters. It's exciting. Okay, I've got 11:01, so I'm about ready to kick this party off. No, you're back in Kentucky? Okay, good. God's country. I'm gonna assume, I'm just gonna exit, I'm gonna completely exit out. Oh, okay. Okay, definitely nothing is responding. That's always good news. But as long as I've got this machine going, it'll be okay. I just may have some trouble getting to your comments. It's just like gray boxes looking at me. Good morning. So my mentor texted me last night and wanted to know if I had put together something for you guys for the AP exam. And I was like, no, I feel like I'm talking to him every daggone day about the AP exam. So I think she wants for us to work together on like a paper, a list, a something. And I don't know that it's necessarily for you guys. I feel like this will be something more like for her and her kids, which is fine. I mean, she's helped us out a tremendous amount, and so I'm totally good to help her out as well. So maybe we're coming up on some document that Sarah and I make for you guys that is just like how you're going to do this AP exam. I mean, this whole time I've been talking, the YouTube page is still trying to load on my Mac. That's a great sign, right? Like the internet is ablaze. So we may do, I may have something for you guys in the immediate future for, I don't know, survival's guide. Oh, good. We're clicking now. So let's look at energy efficiency. I don't know if you guys talked about switchgrass with anybody else. I was talking to Miss Koshi about it, and it's very interesting. She had never heard of switchgrass either. So there's got to be something to it, right? Like that's kind of how I feel about most things. No, I don't want to share with others. That's how I feel about most things with this is if, you know, think about your textbook is not relatively old. I mean, it's very new and we're very appreciative. That's one of the cool things about taking an AP class is your textbook cannot be more than 7 years old. And that kind of falls in line with you know, they're going to ask you about current events, and that keeps everybody. I turned that off. And so that helps keep everybody on the same playing field. But I feel like if we should have more information about switchgrass or something. Switchgrass, who knew? Okay, so what are the advantages and disadvantages of geothermal? And we've talked a little bit about geothermal. I feel like I have shared with you guys that my sister-in-law and brother-in-law had a home that was heated with geothermal heat, and it definitely was not ideal. It is, still stands, it's a very old house. I don't know if you guys know where South Carrollton is. It's in Muhlenberg County, but it's a very old river town that is basically dilapidated at this point, and it used geothermal. So in addition to it not working well, I'm sure the house was very poorly insulated and needed some reinforcing in its entirety. Ace, will you get me a Kleenex?
Word.
In my bathroom. So, as with all things with science, we take these big words and we break them down. And the words geothermal, geo literally means what?
Rock.
Yes, rock. Good, Ace. Rock or earth. And then thermal means heat. So basically what we're trying to tell you is that we are extracting or extrapolating energy. We're extrapolating heat from the earth and or coolness from the earth, and piping it through our homes. And I used this picture because it kind of showed you, take your time, son. It's not dripping down my face on YouTube. It's fine. He is a fast moving creature, everybody. I mean, wow. I don't know why you get on the World Wide Web. Thank you, son. And your nose and hair and everything about you starts to itch. It's almost like you can see the 17 billion people staring at you and everything just like, oh, I can't tell if that's weird. Let me look at mine. I can't tell if I'm frozen or, okay, no, I think it's just my Mac that's frozen. Okay. That's not good though. I may not know. Let me pull up on my phone. I may not know when you guys are talking to me if I don't. Technology. I love technology. Okay. Got it. That's not good though. Okay. Oh wait, no. Here's your comments right there. Okay. All right. Oh, good. Okay, see, look, I didn't even see this. A website I was reading says that switchgrass emits a lot of SO2 and has to be put undercover for storage. Okay. Good job, Luke. And sulfur dioxide, is a pollutant. I'm trying to think if it's a greenhouse gas. I think it's also a greenhouse gas, guys. Okay, I'm going to stick this. Oh, okay, now this is at least jumped up. Okay, so maybe between the two of these, I will figure out when you guys are talking to me. There it is. Okay. Yes, sulfur dioxide. Oh. Okay. Oh. Oh, Kaylee, remember, we got to teach you to fish. We got to, when it says SO2, that 2 stands for die. Okay, so it can heat and cool a house by exploiting the temperature difference between the Earth's surface and the underground depth of 10 to 20 feet. Now, we are... Oh, Kaylee, I love that you retracted your statements. The guy in the book is outside with a bunch of switchgrass, right? I don't know. Oh, echo. I don't know what to tell you there. I mean, I'm feeling like we're just having YouTube problems. Is everybody having an echo? Is that any better? Good grief. Okay, so we are Kentucky, so we know all about whales. We do not know all about whales. We know all about caves. I have an incredible headache. I apologize. And yes, everybody's got the echo. Okay, I don't know what to do. I'm going to unplug my mic. That's my mouse. Where's my mic? Oh my gosh, do you know what it is? Oh. Okay, I bet that's better. I had my mic plugged up to the Mac because I was doing a Zoom meeting. And, my apologies. Okay, tell me if it's better. You know, you can tell. Oh, good. Yay. Sorry. Oh, okay, Kaylee Payne. Earth Day, question mark. I don't know, is it? You guys have to tell me. So, the reason why I brought up the cave system is one, because we are Kentuckians, and Mammoth Cave is for real, like our, you know, is one of our claim to fames. And so if you've not gone to Mammoth Cave, you need to, because you're from Kentucky. And regardless of whether it's 110 degrees outside or like negative 10, you've got consistent temperature in the cave system. So they never have to change what they say to where in the caves because it's always the same temperature. A cave system says that it's the average temperature. So if you were to go into a cave in Kentucky, it's going to have the average. It's going to maintain the consistent temperature of our area year round. So that's not to say, that's not to say that you can't have a cave system in, I don't know, let's say Nevada, Arizona, New Mexico. It's going to have a warmer cave environment because their year-long temperature is going to be much warmer. So for us in Kentucky, our geothermal systems are going to maintain a heat that is, consistent all year round. Now, notice that it says here, we're digging down, depth of 10 to 20 feet, 3 to 6 meters, where the temperature is typically 50 to 60 degrees all year long. So, understand, if you are pulling up, good morning, Tommy. Wow, what a treat. Welcome. Oh my gosh, it's just 11:15 and you're up. That's impressive. Nice, okay. Very good, Chloe. So if you want your home to be warmer than 50 to 60 degrees, you're probably going to have to also use some additional heating to make that happen. But nowadays, I'm sure that they have extra abilities to heat and cool what you're using with a geothermal system. So in the winter, it pulls the water one way. In the summer, it pulls the water the other. And I just need you to understand that that is either grabbing heat and taking it away or grabbing heat and pulling it too. That's why you change the direction of your water flow or your liquid flow. It's not technically just water. It estimates that a system can heat or cool a house that is a 2,000 square foot home for as little as $1 a day, which all sounds very cool. This is a geothermal system underground, right? So you're going to build your house upon this, and then I think that they snake this up through the walls. It cost at least $20,000 to $25,000 to make this happen. So it's a lot up front. And like I said, it's not, I know that your book is telling you that it is so clean, no air pollutants, so safe. I'm telling you firsthand, it's not the warmest option in the winter or coolest option in the summer, and and I cannot imagine how much it would cost. I don't even know if you could put it in a home that's already built. I'm sure they've got something out there to where you could use geothermal in an already established home. And some of you guys kind of build kind of already have a geothermal look about your home. We have a home that it looks like 1 story in the front, and then if you look in the back, it's actually a 2 story. And our whole basement is built underground with the back open. And so to heat and cool the basement, it's incredible. Like the basement stays much, much cooler than the rest of your house. So that's kind of like a little intro into geothermal for us, an option for us. We can also tap into deeper, more concentrated hydrothermal reserves for geothermal energy. You can drill wells into these reservoirs to extract this dry steam, wet steam, hot water, and then use that. You can harness that to help with your greenhouses, all of that stuff. I feel like this is much, much, much hotter and a little harder to tap into. Another potential source of geothermal energy is hot, dry rock, which I don't even know about this hot, dry rock thing, but I made sure to put in here. So you go down about 3 miles, and then you drill into the rock bed, and then you inject your fluid, your waterous, aqueous fluid into it. And that sounds a lot like fracking to me. So I put in here, if it walks like a duck, acts like a duck, and quacks like a duck, it's a chicken, right? Because, you guys are freshmen, and that's the kind of conversation that we would have. But that sounds a lot like fracking. So you gotta think about what we got going on there. And that's all of 16-6 is just the geothermal energy section. So our takeaways from geothermal is, the positives that your book wants to spin is that it's the upfront cost is very expensive, but then to maintain it is very cheap, which is the earmark of most environmentally friendly systems. That you kind of have to have it in mind when you build your house. I don't think that you can. If you can establish a geothermal once a home is already built, I don't know how. I'm sure where there is a pocketbook, there is a way, but it sounds very costly. This also, I want you to remember, this eliminates what portion of our economy, right? All of our low-income families. So, once again, we're saying, hey, look, there's this super cheap way, like $30 a month. My electricity bill, now my house is very large, but there's only 3 people in it, but it is very large. That's an obnoxious statement, right? And it is, gosh, I'm gonna say somewhere between $200 and $300 a month for electricity. So our air conditioner is electric and our heater is gas maybe. So in the summer it's like $200 or $300 electric bill. In the winter it's like $100, but then our gas bill goes from $30 a month to like $200 a month. So it's about $300 a month to cool, heat, and entertain our home, right? So electricity with the lights and all of that stuff. So if I could take that $200 and turn it into $30, again, it doesn't take a Matthew Hendricks to figure out that that's economically well. However, I would have to have $25,000 up front and the knowledge that I needed to build my house this way going into it. So I don't know a lot of low socioeconomic people that are building homes, and on top of that, are building homes with 25 G's just set aside for HVAC systems. So, and again, if you had a ton of money one thing that we've laughed about is we could live upstairs in the winter and downstairs in the summer. And I mean, it would almost cost nothing. If we had an entire kitchen downstairs, we could totally do that. But that's obnoxious, right? Like, what kind of conversation is that? So, geothermal doesn't seem like a good option for our low socioeconomic quadrant of the population. And then when I tell you that it's not really efficient, like it doesn't do a great job, what a lot of bougie people like, a great job. So, if you're going to pay all this money for this geothermal unit and then bring in space heaters or whatever, then you've kind of defeated the purpose. So, geothermal, not much. You just need to know that your bill that you're going down into the earth and that you are accessing that average temperature. On the test, I did ask a question about the hot rock, and I did ask a question about the wet reservoirs that were way further down than that. But other than that, that's about it. Super short, super sweet. I had to take Ace to the doctor today. He got into what we thought was poison ivy, and now it looks like maybe he has eczema. So, my brain is a little crazy, like headache and such. So we're gonna get to go to Walmart today. I have not been out in like the community since all this started. So I'm gonna have to think about, do I go to Walmart and get Ace's stuff, or do I make Chad do it? I don't know. Like I said, I've not been out. Like, yours truly has, for real, like, I know how to quarantine at home. And so we're going to get Mr. Skimehorn all straightened out. His little knees are like raspberry flame balls of itchiness and other places. And so, yeah, I've been to the doctor this morning with him, and now I think I'm going to make homemade corn dogs. So Harry thinks that he has an intelligent mosquito out in an apartment. Yes. Yeah, no, definitely not happy. Well, we thought, like, Ace likes to chop down trees and such, and we thought that it was all poison ivy, but it is evidently eczema. So that's just like a dry skin condition that evidently fellas and puberty go together. So nothing that a young man likes to talk about more than puberty and like ladies in a doctor's office. So I was, I felt a little sorry for Ace, and I took some pictures, and it was funny. But so I'm not going to take a ton of your time. We had a 20-minute class today, and like only 10 of that was actual content, so that's pretty good. Tomorrow, and look for, yes, you can, Xander. But warning, my homemade corn dogs are going to be like Jiffy Mix and not real hot dogs, but they are freaking delicious. I'm telling you, they're freaking delicious. And I don't know if Ace will eat them, but we'll see. So, I did see this meme, and there's this bat you guys do need to look up. It's called a pollen bat. It's called a pollen bat. So, evidently, it does the job of bees, where they don't really have good bees. So, this little pollen bat is covered in this yellow pollen. And the meme was something like, in other places, this is called a powdered donut. It was totally inappropriate, but it did make me laugh out loud. Oh my gosh, I had a vegetarian bacon sandwich yesterday, and it was very good. Thank you very much. Those of you haters that said it tasted like paper, it did not. Morningstar bacon. It was very good. I enjoyed it very much. I can't eat bacon, and so Morningstar's come out with a bacon, like a vegetarian bacon, and I thought it was very good. So, I hope that Sarah and I will make something that is helpful to you guys, but I feel like I have communicated pretty well with you guys what's going to happen, what's coming up with your AP exam, and but whatever we make, I'm going to share with you guys as well. So, until tomorrow we will talk about, what are we going to talk about tomorrow? We're going to talk about Hydrogen. Oh, gosh, I wish Chad were here for this. Chad is gone. Oh my gosh, and we're going to get to talk about CT tomorrow. I am so excited. And then 16.8 is super, super short. So let me ask you this question. No, never mind. I'm not going to ask you that question. It doesn't matter. I was going to ask you that if you guys wanted to combine it and have your test on Thursday. But you know what? No, we're going to stretch this out. We're going to take our time. Everybody else is going to get out of school on May the 8th, and we're still going to be working. So you know what? We're not going to stress ourselves. We're gonna take our time. It's Morningstar vegetarian bacon. So, full disclosure, I eat bacon sandwiches with like a ton of Miracle Whip on it. So, um, I mean, it wasn't like I was just eating it raw bacon. Skimmy, do you have the GC on the Do Not Disturb? I made a wager on it. Do you have the GC on Do Not Disturb? Oh, no, I do not. And I'm up. I'm up. Things have just, things have just gone a little sideways. So I'm up, but I'm still reading for the most part. I'm in a group chat for everybody, that, is wondering. And, I enjoy it very much because it's, just a ton of dumbness. Like, for real, it's, 99% stupidity, and then when they start talking about things like alcohol or bodies, I just stop reading all of that, and then I catch back up when they talk about, I don't know. Gosh, what are some of the dumb things that they've talked about? I don't know. But like they do dance moves, and that makes me laugh. And so, no, it is definitely not on Do Not Disturb. I am actually getting the messages as, like, and here's the thing. I love that Trevor Church is active on the group chat right now and not on the, like, YouTube channel. So, no, definitely not on Do Not Disturb. I just haven't been, writing, but I'm still reading and enjoying. And Kaylee, never bet against Skimmy. Always bet on black. Like, always. I'm always with you. So, that's about it. Family, I love you guys. I continue to pray for you. Last night, I just prayed that all of you experience peace, that you take the time when all your other classes end to really dive into your AP classes. Those of you that have AP Human Geography and AP Environmental, this is a blessing for you. So just continue to. That was my prayer, that you. Yes, he is. That you continue to be diligent in your efforts. There's a scripture verse in Ecclesiastes that talks about, have your work glorify God. And if you are a believer in such a thing, then that was kind of my thoughts with my prayer for you all last night, for all of you last night. The whole dang lot of you is that your word glorify God, the God of your understanding, or the lack thereof, because that's important. And so, on those notes, tomorrow at 11, we will talk about hydrogen fuels.